Bonjour everyone, it's Justine. Today I would like to show you the process of creating a garment that's meant to go into production and to be sold commercially. Because making one piece, unique piece, like in couture, is easy. But making 100 times exactly the same piece is a lot more work. Let's start. I usually start with a drawing. So here we're talking about this skirt here. I wanted something that wraps around you and makes you feel protected. So it is a wrap skirt. I wanted it to be not too short so that it's comfortable to wear and sit with. And you should be able to wear it with high heels or sneakers, depending on what your mood on that day is. And intuitively, I drawn this kind of relief pattern here. And I knew I needed fabric that's heavy enough to fall really nicely. The next step is to specify all the technical dimensions and specifications of the skirt that are needed for production. So how long is it going to be, how tight around the body, how is every piece held together with the rest, thread inside, outside, where do I need to reinforce with another layer on the inside to make it more stable. All those things I need to think through, otherwise this skirt cannot be produced. This is how it looks in my case. It's just a quick drawing with notes all around and millimeters and thoughts and corrections until I know exactly how the skirt is going to be implemented. Then comes the pattern. The pattern is a paper piece that has the exact scale that the skirt is going to have at the end. So each part in the skirt has a different pattern piece. It's a lot of work, and it contains all the indications for sewing, so all the seam allowances on the side that you're not going to see at the end, and all the indications for cutting as to the fabric direction and the way to put things together. Then comes the prototype. It's the first piece made in fabric. It's to test the design, the pattern, the fabric itself in real life. Does everything work? Does it look the way I want it to look like? Does the fabric shrink when I run at high temperature and steam in production? If yes, the patterns need to be adapted accordingly. It's the first real life check, so to say. Is that skirt going to look like I want it to? You might have noticed that until then, I've been doing everything in sample size, one size. In my case, European size S. Now I need to do the grading, so I need to take my set of patterns in size S and turn them into an XS, and an M, and an L. That's the so-called pattern multiplication. That's why designers need a lot of square meters to get around. And when you do the grading, it's not just about adding 10% on your size to get the next size. It's also about keeping the proportions nice. So from S to L, for example, yes, it's getting wider, but is it getting longer? And how much longer? I need the skirt to look as good in L as in S. So it's not an easy task, and I get it done externally by professional pattern makers who also make my production patterns. Now that I have all the patterns in all sizes and the prototypes, comes the ordering and production phase. I cannot calculate how much fabric, thread and trimmings I need for one piece times the number of pieces that I want to produce. I order everything in once, and I have the materials delivered to my sewing company, where a team of sewing professionals saw everything in once. They rationalize production. So they're not going to make one skirt and then make the next one and then make the third one. They're going to cut all the skirts in once. Then they're going to sew one side on all skirts. Then they're going to sew the next side on all skirts, and so on. They deliver at the end all the skirts to me in once, and production's done. And that's how you get 100 times the exact same skirt. This skirt. Then you can shoot it, make a lookbook, produce stills, so pack shots without a model for the press, and put everything online, and you have a collection that's live. But the whole marketing part is another story. If you learned something new in this video, thumbs up. Thank you. Now there are two things you're welcome to comment about. First thing, do you have questions about specific parts of the process that I just showed you? Second question, are you interested in a video about the materials that I use to sell my collection, like for example the lookbook, because I could show you that as well in a future video? Let me know. What to watch next? Here's my video from last week about which colors to wear with your skin tone and how to determine your skin tone in the first place. And at the bottom is a video about how to choose colors for a fashion collection once you have your mood board ready, so I guide you through the process as well. Other than that, Take care. See you next week for our next video. Bye bye.